the planned move of the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services to close down field offices overseas will not affect issuances from Manila, but processing of documents could take longer. Our correspondent Willard Chang joins us now on the line for details. What more can you tell us, Willard?
Hi, Kathy. American immigration lawyer Ryan Barshop clarified that the planned move of the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services to close down field offices overseas covers only a limited number of petitions and is not expected to affect issuances from Manila or anybody else worldwide except for a delay in the processing of papers. Speaking to ABS-CBN News, Barshop explained that the move is limited to USCIS overseas operations. This is under the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and is limited to only a few types of petitions, namely a spousal petition, a petition for a child, and a widow petition. Instead of being able to submit petitions and paperwork to a USCIS field office in Manila, for example, a process that could take for as few as 2 to 3 months, if the move pushes through, petitioners will be sending the documentation to a USCIS lockbox, a process that can take over a year. In an email to ABS-CBN News, the USCIS explained that applications for visas made by foreign nationals in foreign countries are issued by the Department of State and not the USCIS. The news did not come as a surprise for Barshop, saying that since 2011, the CIS is left with around 20 field offices overseas, including Manila, Bangkok, Seoul, Guangzhou, Beijing, and New Delhi. Barshop said petitioners under exceptional circumstances, such as having a job offer or needing medical care, may still use certain avenues available to expedite their papers.
For example, if somebody, an American, married to someone from the Philippines and they decided they wanted to immigrate back to America, instead of sending the documentation to a USCIS lockbox, and that could take over a year, they could simply go to the embassy, on the second floor of the embassy, approach the USCIS Manila field office, submit the paperwork, and the process would be very quickly. It could be done in as little as 2 to 3 months. So that's the main thing we're focusing on here. So what this move does is it essentially just will remove that quick process, and instead everybody worldwide will have to go through the same process. The ability of these offices are very narrow. Not only do you have to be a resident of the Philippines to use this office, but it's limited to only a few types of petitions, specifically a spousal petition, a petition for your child, and a widow petition. That's it. So it was already limited in scope to begin with. So I don't see any massive issues ongoing, and certainly not expected to affect visa issuances from Manila or anybody else worldwide.
USCIS spokesperson Jessica Collins earlier said the USCIS is in preliminary discussions to consider shifting its international USCIS office workloads to USCIS domestic offices in the U.S. and the U.S. embassies and consulates abroad were practicable with the goal of maximizing CIS resources. The agency said necessary interagency agreements will be made to ensure that no interruption will happen in the delivery of immigration services to affected applicants and petitioners. Back to you, Kathy.
Okay, thanks for that, Willard. Willard Chang on the line. Now